The city skyline was my kingdom, and from my penthouse, I surveyed it all. I was Ethan Thorne, a name whispered with a mix of awe and envy in the world of finance. I had built an empire from scratch, a testament to relentless ambition. My right-hand man, my supposed brother-in-arms, was Leo. We'd started with nothing but a shared dream in a cramped dorm room. I trusted him implicitly, more than anyone. That was my first mistake. The call came on a Tuesday, the kind of gray, drizzly day that mirrors a coming storm. It was my lawyer, his voice strained. "Ethan, there's been an irregularity, a massive transfer of funds. Your signature is on it." But I hadn't signed anything. A cold dread washed over me as the pieces clicked into place. The late-night meetings Leo had, the secretive phone calls, his sudden avoidance of my gaze, it was him. He had siphoned my fortune, my life's work, and vanished, leaving behind a digital ghost and a company teetering on the brink of collapse. The betrayal was a physical blow, knocking the air from my lungs and leaving me gasping in the ruins of my life. The penthouse, the cars, the respite all gone. I was left with nothing but the smoldering ashes of my empire and a burning, all-consuming desire for revenge. The first year was a descent into a personal hell. I went from penthouse suites to a squalid basement apartment that smelled of damp and despair. The whispers of awe turned to gears of pity. I sold my watch, my last vestige of the old life, for a month's rent. Humiliation was a constant companion, but in that darkness, a different kind of fire was forged. Every mocking headline, every averted gaze from former colleagues, became fuel. I wasn't just going to rebuild, I was going to dismantle Leo's new life, piece by piece, just as he had done to mine. My revenge wouldn't be swift. It would be a slow, meticulous burn. I started at the bottom. I took odd jobs, coding for small startups, ghostwriting, financial articles, anything to get by and to keep my mind sharp. I lived like a monk, every spare dollar saved, every waking moment spent studying. I wasn't studying finance this time, I was studying Leo. I became an expert on his new life. He had used my money to launch a seemingly untouchable tech firm in a quiet European city, rebranding himself as a visionary philanthropist. He was celebrated, admired. The irony was suffocating. I created a new identity, Ares, a ghost in the machine. As Ares, I moved through the dark corners of the web, building a network of informants and hackers. I learned about the vulnerabilities in Leo's company, the skeletons in his closet, the over-leveraged deals he made to maintain his facade of success. He was arrogant, convinced he had covered his tracks. He underestimated me. He always had. He saw me as a numbers guy, not a strategist. That was his second mistake. My first move was small, almost insignificant. A glitch in his company's new software launch. It caused a minor stock dip. A ripple of concern among investors. Leo dismissed it as a technical issue. He didn't see the invisible hand guiding it. I was testing the waters, learning his response patterns. Next, I leaked an anonymous tip to a hungry financial journalist about a slightly embellished ethical concern in his supply chain. Another dip. This time a little bigger, more whispers. I was planting seeds of doubt, watering them with carefully curated misinformation. Through my network, I found Anya, a brilliant but disgruntled cybersecurity expert who had once worked for Leo. He had stolen her code for a revolutionary security protocol and fired her to take the credit. She hated him as much as I did. Our goals aligned perfectly. Anya became my inside track. She knew the architecture of his systems, the back doors he'd left for himself, the very digital foundation of his stolen kingdom. Together, we were a perfect storm of technical prowess and vengeful determination. Anya gave me the master key. It wasn't a password. It was a deep-seated flaw in the encryption of Leo's entire financial network, a flaw only its original creator, Anya, would know how to exploit. The plan was set for the night of his company's grand gala, a celebration of his 5 years of unprecedented success. He would be on stage, basking in the applause, the picture of a corporate messiah, and that's when I would strike. The night of the gala was electric. I watched the live stream from my dingy apartment, the irony thick in the air. There he was, Leo, looking confident and triumphant in a tailored suit. He stepped up to the podium, a smug smile playing on his lips as he began his speech about integrity and vision. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. Anya gave me the signal. The moment was now. As Leo spoke of transparency, I initiated the sequence. It wasn't a hack to steal money. That would be his game, not mine. My revenge was poetic. I triggered a cascade of transactions, not out of his accounts, but into them. Millions of dollars, funneled from blacklisted sources. Offshore shell corporations flagged for money laundering, and untraceable dark web wallets. Simultaneously, I executed the second part of the plan. All of Leo's carefully hidden files, the evidence of his original betrayal against me, the proof of him stealing Anya's code. His tax evasion schemes were decrypted and sent to every major news outlet and financial regulator on the planet. On the giant screen behind Leo, his self-congratulatory presentation flickered and died. It was replaced by a single, stark message, a detailed ledger of the illegal funds now flooding his corporate accounts. With a simple headline, "Where did the money come from, Leo?" The crowd's applause died. replaced by a wave of confused murmurs, then gasps. Phones lit up as news alerts began to flash. Leo's face, projected 20 feet high, went from smug to confused, then to ashen horror as he understood. His world was collapsing in real time, in front of everyone. He couldn't run, he couldn't hide. I hadn't just taken his money, I had destroyed his name, his reputation, his entire fabricated reality. Back in my apartment, I closed the laptop. The fire of revenge that had consumed me for years began to cool, leaving behind a strange, quiet emptiness. I had one, but what had it cost me? I looked around the small, bare room. This wasn't a throne room. I hadn't reclaimed my kingdom. I had just burned his to the ground. Stepping outside into the cool night air, for the first time in years, I wasn't thinking about the past or about Leo. I was thinking about the future. The ashes were cold. It was time to build something new, something for me. The flames of revenge had died out, and in the faint light of dawn, I saw the chance for a different kind of fire. The quiet, steady flame of a life rebuilt, not on vengeance, but on peace. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more.